Hello, darling. What? Did you think I wouldn't find you? Oh, my sweet, sweet, adorable princess. Of course I'd find you. I'm a werewolf. And one that has the scent of his mate no less. And that is a scent I could never forget. The smell of peaches and dreams. Is the only way I can describe it. I'm not entirely sure what dreams are meant to smell like, but it's the only word I can put to that scent. Your scent. And before you start running again, will you at least hear me out? I understand I scared you the first time we met, but it's not exactly like I planned to find you, to find my mate. No one really plans to find their other half. They just stumble across them. One day you're minding your own business. You go into a store to find coffee after a long day, and then your eyes lock, and that's it. You found them. The one that completes you. The one that steals your breath away. Just with a look that can make and break your whole perception of the world with a single whisper. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that for a human, werewolves and mates is a lot to suddenly get shoved into your world. And that suddenly finding out that you are tied to someone else's soul the way we are is either unbelievable or scary. Believe me, there are many friends of mine that have already found their other halves, and it was always a shock to the one they found to be suddenly ripped from a world of normality, whatever you consider normal to be, that is, and get shoved into the paranormal and supernatural world. For some, it's not too bad. They have wished for it their entire lives, that vampires, werewolves, witches, magic, dragons are all real. And when it happens, it's just confirmation of their dreams come true. But for others, they just wanted to live a normal life. And and for them, being told all of this suddenly exists ruins their life. And I don't want that for you. Yes, I want you with all my being. That's why I chased you across most of this country to find you again after you ran out of that coffee shop. But I don't want to ruin your life. Any more than I already have, that is. You seem to pack everything up and run the moment the claws started popping out as you were, and the eyes turned red. But I don't know if that was out of shock or fear of the unknown, which is why I ran to find you. That first shift after you find your mate is a shock. It's nothing that I can control. The wolf just takes over and decides it needs you. And I can see from a human's perspective how that can be a lot. But after you ran, control was given back to me. Luckily enough, there was enough of the supernatural around to quiet the situation down in that coffee shop. A couple witches I knew altered what happened in people's minds and did me a real good favour. And then I left to find you. You see, I want you more than anything. And if you would give me a chance, which I hope you will, considering you've stood here in a dark alleyway for this long listening to me instead of immediately running. I'm sorry, by the way, when I learned you were coming through this route, I couldn't help myself but set up a little prank. Probably not my smartest of decisions, but I've never claimed to be smart. Furry, yes. Smart? Debatable. The point I'm trying to make is, would you like to go grab a coffee with me? Not the wolf. Me. We can take our time, and when you're ready, we can slowly introduce you to my world. There are certain points that obviously I won't be able to be slow with you with. Things like shifting being necessary after a certain period of time to let the wolf out, to let it free, to let it run. Otherwise they get anxious, and when the wolf gets anxious, I get anxious. There's a bit of an emotional link there. Yeah. The reason why see, I like the fact you're asking questions already. So smart, so intelligent. The reason why I refer to the wolf as another creature is because, technically, it is. See, there are many different types of werewolves, I guess, depending on how they gain the ability. Some are born with it, some are turned, and some are just different breeds. Now, I don't mean like one person being a brown wolf and someone else being a white wolf or a black wolf or, different patterns. I don't mean like that. I mean as the type. I'm a shifter wolf, so I am one body that shares two forms and two souls for each form. Me and the wolf. We were born at the same time and have always been linked. There's a bit of communication between the two, but only through emotion, feelings, and stuff like that. Like, for example, the fact that you're staying and listening to me makes my wolf incredibly excited and giddy, which is why I am currently smiling like a lunatic and keep doing that awkward laugh because he is so excited and just like a puppy. Yeah, just like a puppy. And I have to try and tone that down and be a bit more gentler with it because I don't want to scare you away. I don't want to make you run for the hills thinking, not that you'd be thinking wrong, but thinking that there was this possessive, overexcited creature or man after you. Not that, as I said earlier, you would be wrong. The wolf is, and in turn me, are incredibly possessive. Especially over you. Now, it took me, 4 days to find you? And if someone was to raise their hand to you, I would not be able to tell what I would do. I'm not generally violent, but possessive and protective of those I care about. Yes. And the magic that ties ourselves together makes me very much care for you. Not to say that those feelings are fake. Very much not. For all that magic does is push you closer and takes what will already be there and amplifies it. So I'm sure with anyone else you would have run for the hills before I even got a word in. But how long have you been here now? 8, 9 minutes, maybe more. And you're no longer tense either. Well, now you are after I mentioned it, but you hadn't been. You'd relaxed. I see you wondering why. It's part of the magic. I'm sure if you gave me the chance that you would feel safe and cared for with me. That we could build each other up and take over the world, or at least feel like it. If you get what I mean. The point is that the magic, fates as you could think of it, or destiny, found 2 souls and played a little game of matchmaker. These 2 would go perfect for each other and tied us together so that eventually one day our eyes would meet and this would happen. Maybe not the running halfway across the country to get away and the scared part of it, but what will happen in the future if you'll give it a chance. Now, I have a hotel room nearby. You don't have to come with me right now, but I've seen where you've been staying. So, at least come with me. Let me feed you. Maybe even let me get you some fresh clothes, because you have been on the run from what must have been in your head a furry demon chasing you. And I want to make that up to you by giving you somewhere you can eat, sleep and feel safe. And then once you've had time, maybe we can go on a proper date, get to know each other, talk, instead of me just emptying my soul to you as I am now, trying to get you to not run. And I didn't even finish explaining the wolf thing. Anyway, the point is I'm a shifter wolf as well. There are other types, but I don't turn into a big scary werewolf with claws on two legs. I turn into a giant wolf, basically. And yeah, I guess you could say it's a big enough wolf for you to ride on. Why do you ask? Yes, in theory you could ride my wolf into battle. I like your sense of humor already. So, how about it? How about I take you to the hotel, we get you washed, fed, get some fresh clothes on you, and yes, maybe if you'd like, we can take my truck to the nearest forest and you can ride my wolf around if you are that way inclined. Oh no, he'll love it. He'll love the attention. Don't worry about that at all. Any attention that you give him would be his world, like it is mine. I do have one other thing to mention, and that is wolves have a habit of marking what is theirs. So don't be surprised if he tries to give you a bite mark. Won't necessarily be somewhere visible, but oh no, it won't hurt. When in the process of a wolf marking his mate, there's a bit of I don't really want to say venom, but numbing agent, then that means she won't feel anything, and it will heal incredibly quickly. A little bit of like the wolfy healing factor is weaved into it. Well, there are ways of turning into a wolf if that's what you want, but I think that would be a conversation we can have some other time once you've made your mind about me and you and wolfing. You can name him whatever you want. Usually we both go by the same name within the wolf culture, but if you decide you want to yeah, I guess I never did tell you my name. That would help, wouldn't it? Well, how about like out of 3 we tell each other the other's name? Sound like an idea? How about we do it whilst we walk back to my truck? Yeah. Don't worry, I can get it started by the key and warmed up so we don't have to worry about the cold. God, it is cold out here tonight. Hey, just because I'm a wolf doesn't mean I don't feel the chill as a human. I mean, I say that, I'm still standing here in a t-shirt with lights around, but what can you do? Anyway, how about we tell each other our names and I count of 3? Yeah? 3, 2, 1.